Good evening, I'm Brett Baer in for Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. If you thought the race for president couldn't get any stranger or uglier, then today's developments may make you think again. 2 more women have come out alleging Donald Trump sexually assaulted them, charges he firmly denies. And a new batch of WikiLeaks emails have been released revealing new information on the email investigation and the Clinton Foundation. With charges and countercharges of moral lapses and ethical misconduct growing, both sides appear to be waging a scorched earth campaign strategy.
Crooked Hillary is doing no more public events until after the debate. They say she's doing debate prep, but really she's just resting. She's resting. For what she's done, they should lock her up. She's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Honestly, it's disgraceful. What's going on in our country right now is a disgrace.
Meantime, President Obama was out campaigning for Hillary Clinton today.
Apparently, in a speech yesterday, he started talking about global elites, that there was a conspiracy of global elites. This is a guy who spent all his time hanging around trying to convince everybody he was a global elite. Talking about how great his buildings are, how luxurious and how rich he is, and flying around everywhere. And all he had time for was celebrities. And now suddenly he's acting like he's a populist out there. Man, I'm going to fight for working people. Come on, man.
Joining us now to weigh in on all these latest developments, Fox News contributors Juan Williams from New York and Karl Rove from Austin. Karl, first to you. Tonight, does Donald Trump have a path to 270 electoral votes to win the presidency?
Probably not. He had one before October 7th in the revelation of the sex tape. He probably still had one thereafter, but after we've now been subjected to 5 days where rather than prosecuting Hillary Clinton on the issues and the necessity for change, he spent it defending himself against endless charges by women who seem to pop up every day saying he groped them. And it would be far better for him to end that discussion and simply say, I'm not going to talk about that any longer. I've said what I'm going to say. Now I want to talk about the issues that people care about. That might be able to win him back some people and convert some of the undecideds his way. But the way he's been conducting his campaign makes it very difficult to get back in the game.
Juan, Democrats seem to be excited about this latest turn of events. Obviously, Trump has denied all of these allegations. He continues, as Karl mentioned, to talk about it. But on the flip side, when asked about any of the allegations against Bill Clinton from the past, Vice President Biden today said it shouldn't matter. I can't make an excuse for Bill Clinton. I wouldn't attempt to, but he's paid a price for that. He was impeached.
Well, that's true, but I think the key point here is Bill Clinton's not on the ballot. And even by that standard, if you say Bill Clinton did wrong, well, then, gee, I guess Donald Trump did wrong. And that's a very broad association, but I think it's the one that Donald Trump's trying to push. I'd pick up on what Karl was talking about, though, Brett, and say that Donald Trump is spending so much time now fighting off these allegations that he's not succeeding in expanding his base of support or the electoral map. What we've seen here at Fox is the Fox poll had him down, or Clinton up, I should say, +2 about a week ago. Now Clinton is up +7. And where you see this collapse in terms of his support is among Republicans. You see Clinton's going up slightly, but a lot of Republicans, especially and surprisingly, working class white women who were for Trump previously, now split. And I think that's a big problem for Donald Trump.
All right, Karl, what does Donald Trump have to do, you mentioned some of it, to turn this around? Obviously, the big debate next week in Las Vegas, Chris Wallace, the moderator from Fox News, but what does Donald Trump have to do?
Well, Juan put his finger on it. Remember, Hillary Clinton's gone up a little. Donald Trump has dropped by more. That means he can win those people back if he begins to return the campaign to a discussion about the big issues that are driving that change dynamic in the electorate. So he ought to end it all and then systematically go out there and say, I'm going to talk about issues that matter to the American people. I'm going to give a speech on health care. I'm going to give a speech on jobs. I'm going to give a speech on, and make those things direct attacks at the Obama-Clinton administration. He also has to be a lot more nimble. when things pop up in the press, like the governor of Minnesota, an ardent Democrat and supporter of Obamacare, says the Obamacare is a disaster, we can't afford it, it's broken. He should have jumped on that and made that the focal point of that day. And instead, we get these speeches where he rambles and where he spends most of his time defending himself against these charges and excoriating the media. Makes everybody in the arena feel good because that is the base of his support, but it does nothing to broaden that base and bring back to his ranks people that he's lost in the last 10 days. And he only has 25 days to get this reoriented. In fact, he's only got, each day he's only got the ability to push one idea or one thought through into people's consciousness, and he's missing it by talking about things they frankly either are unattracted by or want to get past.
One, Republican Senate candidates who have made this about a binary choice and tapped into what Carl talked about, the Obamacare doubts, not only from Governor Dayton, but from former President Clinton, calling it crazy, on small businesses, about foreign policy hotspots exploding around the world, about doubts about the economy. There's a WikiLeaks email about food stamps and how Hillary Clinton said food stamps would drive the economy up. They seem to be doing well, the binary choice Republican Senate candidates. The Democrats want to make this about Donald Trump, right?
Well, sure. Right now it's working for him. I don't think there's any question. And when you see states like, Texas, Utah, Alaska, that Trump has barely a narrow lead there, you think, what is going on? I mean, clearly, where we started this conversation about the electoral map, you see now states in play that should not be in play. And so when you're talking about someone like Paul Ryan, and by the way, that's something Donald Trump's spending time on, attacking Paul Ryan because Paul Ryan's distancing himself. So he's attacking a fellow Republican instead of trying to broaden his base or shore up his base with Republicans. So when you ask me, yes, Democrats are certainly happy at this turn of events, but it doesn't seem to be the case that as Hillary Clinton takes more time off the campaign trail, that it's anything Democrats are doing so much as what Donald Trump is doing to himself.
Juan, Carl, as always, thank you.